how do you deal with negative friends and family?
Right.
And what I mean by that is people that are the quote unquote Debbie Downers, right? They are the ones that are, you know, who are always negative about their life situation. They're always just basically whether beating you down or beating themselves down. How do we deal with negative friends and family?
I guess I'll start.
Mm-hmm.
I the way I am, I always try to be that motivational person. So I actually try to pick them up and give them examples and show them different things where like just boost their confidence by giving them that added morale and try to show them different ways of, of things that worked out, So whatever the situation is with their when they're being that Debbie Downer or whatever, there's always so many other situations of things working out. So I'm always that guy that tries to show them that side of it, So people
Mm.
always, I hate it, but if you have family and stuff, they're close to you, you can't just like cut them all out, right? But I really hate it because instead of thinking of what can go wrong, all you got to do is flip it and think of what can go right. Like all the
Yeah.
benefits of what these things, like whatever the decision is, whatever, it could be so many different things, but what's the positives that could come out of it? Everyone, not everyone, but I would say like so many people, like the majority of people, I think, look at what can go wrong as opposed to what can actually change in their life. So whatever is risky or whatever you feel fear when it comes to a decision, you're always going to think negative. But instead of like you, thinking that negative, look at the opposite end and always think that whatever is uncomfortable for you to do is
Mm-hmm.
probably gonna be the harder decision to make to make that step, that leap, that learning, that growth. So I think a lot of people, they just run all the way up to the edge where they could take that leap and get that big, growth in whatever they're trying to do, and they stop themselves because they're scared to make that jump, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that jump is so much growth. If they just do it, they would see it. But people
Mm.
don't want to see it because they hold themselves back. So I'm that motivational guy who's gonna like give them that speech and try to show them all of these things.
Mm.
So that's how I like to deal with stuff. I just like to push people because people don't understand the power that they have. The mind is a lot stronger than anything. If they just put put that mind to work, they can do it instead of holding themselves back.
No, definitely. And just before I ask you, Jace, your thoughts, you know, to kind of, I like what you said there, Sammy, was, you're going to motivate someone to make that jump, but we're always scared of making that jump and failing. But
Mm-hmm.
whether I succeed or fail from that jump, at least I made that jump. And I could
You
always
also
fall back
learned.
and say, I did it. Yes, it didn't
Yep.
it didn't work out, but you know what? I still did it. And I could sleep
Yeah.
peaceful at night knowing that I did that.
Yeah.
And you're
So
gonna learn something from that. Bottom line,
absolutely.
whether it works or it doesn't work, you've got experience, you've learned. So the next time you have a similar decision, now
Hmm.
you're making that decision with experience,
No, for sure.
It's better to, instead of staying in one place, it's better to actually make the wrong move, correct it because you know it's the wrong move, and move to the other way than staying in one place.
No,
That's a lot of
100%.
people don't see that. Like staying one place, what's the best that can happen? You're doing the same thing today and tomorrow, right?
Yeah, and again,
Change is hard for people.
It's not gonna get better,
oh,
right?
it's 100% hard. And yeah, as you mentioned, Sam, it's not going to get any better, but I think for me a big part in a lot of the negativity that I see people profess is due to the success that they see of other people on social media, right? So if I'm somebody that's, just living my life, doing whatever, and every other picture I'm seeing a guy in the gym who's ripped.
Right.
I'm seeing my friend holding keys to a new house that they bought or a new car. And I'm seeing all these different forms of success. And because we consume so much content off of social media, it's almost now ingrained in my brain that I'm just going to look myself in the mirror. I'm going to talk down to myself. I'm going to be negative. So if, and once that seed is planted, that bush or tree, whatever you want to call it, is just going to continue to grow. And the negativity is only going to get worse. And now you're not only looking at yourself negatively, you're looking at other people negatively.
Yeah.
And
misery loves company.
Yes.
But I'm a bit different than Uncle Sammy in that case, because Uncle Sammy, you mentioned you try to flip it and talk positive, right? I try to I don't know how the word is, put it in a box, right? So I put parameters around for someone talking negative.
Yeah.
I kind of go in a situation knowing how you are, knowing that I'll have to bear a conversation with you for maybe 5-10 minutes of the negativity, and just kind of be like, yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Yeah, the doctor said this. The doctor said that. Yeah, it sucks. And then I try to get away. Like I'll make an excuse. I'm going to the washroom, and I'll never come back.
Let me take this call.
Yeah. I know for a fact, turn into a positive thing will actually not help them, because they've been talking that for so long. It never changes.
Yeah.
How do you deal with it?
That's a good point. When do you give up on someone? That's the thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're right. If they have been talking that long or thinking that way for so long, what can change? You know what I mean? So I think that's a good point. Because you're talking yourself into trying to help somebody, but can you help that person? And to touch on what you're talking about, JR, what I always think about is because social media is good and bad. There's a lot of bad, obviously, with social media because of the stuff that you just said. Like, you see people have the house keys, you see people have a new car, they're on vacation, whatever, the abs, whatever. But I always think, and maybe I'm good with this, but not everybody else is, what did they have to do to get there? So, to get abs, I know damn well it is definitely difficult, So I have not seen abs in quite some time. So I would say that they're probably not just doing nothing, you know what I mean? So they're not posting the hard work that they're doing to get the property or to get the car or to go on vacation. They have to work. So it's not just going to come easy, they're not just getting a DM most likely saying, hey, you want to come to Dubai? That's not necessarily happening. Jokes aside, they have to put in the work to get what they want. So I always remember that. But I think people who are like maybe lower self-esteem or something, they're not remembering that. They're thinking, oh, these people are so lucky they got this, but there's work behind the scenes that's not posted.
Yeah. No, that's so true. Right? We just oftentimes see the final product, but we don't see the process that goes into it, but Jace, you asked me, how do I deal with it?
Yeah.
Right. And I think for me, it's, I'm a big believer in, protecting my energy. So if I know that you have a negative mindset, you're just Debbie Downer, I'm going to do my best to try and distance myself, or almost kind of let it go through one ear and out the other, and not have what you're saying hold any weight. Right. I'm just going to look at it like it's just words. That's it. Right. But if you are offering some sort of knowledge or something, I'm going to most definitely obtain that and hold on to it. But if you're just negative, I got to protect my energy. I got to protect my happiness and whatnot. So I'm not going to, put any value into what you're saying, which kind of sounds harsh, but it's facts though.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. But I got a question for Cash. All right. So Cash, hear me out on this one. When someone is negative towards you, right? Whether, they're always bringing themselves down, they're beating themselves, talking bad about them. how do you, because again, we provided all male perspectives, but you being the only female here, and females think different than males, how do you approach that situation when you have a friend that is the Debbie Downer?
That's a very good question. And thank you for asking that question. How I deal with those type of situation, I would usually talk. I would offer help if possible. Not help, but like sort of advice. And if the conversation is more negative, then I'll just try to talk but not offer help. It all depends on how the conversation is going.
Okay, so basically you're saying, okay, so if myself and you are talking and you're asking me how my day is, and I'm telling you, oh, it's horrible, I hate myself, I did this wrong, I did that wrong, I'm such a bad person. You're saying you'll offer help. What does that help look like for someone?
I'll try
like
to
me?
make you feel better, but if you're like continuing, like obviously if you're saying your day's bad, I'll be like, well, tell me what happened that made your day bad.
Okay.
And then I will try to tell you something that will motivate you, but if it's not helping, I will just allow you to just vent and say whatever you want to say. I wouldn't necessarily offer help anymore. It depends on the conversation, as I said again, like, because some people, they're so negative, but then if you have someone that is very positive, that person can also maybe bring a little light into how they're feeling in the moment, if that makes sense.
True. But sometimes some people are just so far gone that you can't really help them, right?
But sometimes it's because of insecurities too, or low self-esteem too.
Have you ever had a situation where someone is coming up to your friends, but then they come up to you and they start talking about other people to you, bad about other people to you?
Oh, lots of time.
How do you react to that?
It's kind of annoying. I feel like not so much on a male perspective, but female, they actually go through that on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's what
someone is always talking bad about somebody.
Yeah.
Like
there's a reason why there's a show called Gossip Girl.
It's annoying. I'm not gonna say I don't talk about other people. Maybe yes, sometimes it depends, but not like constantly caring, or I don't know how to say it.
How do you flip it though? Like, how do you because you said you try to flip it into something positive.
Like, okay, let's say I had a friend, like she would usually tell me about her friends and what they do. And it's always like negative, and she's always
That's
talking.
What I'm getting at.
Yeah. She's always negative, and she's like, oh, this B is like, she's pretending she has money, but she really don't. And, you know, she walks funny, and she doesn't even know how to cook. Like, how does she own such a big house? She doesn't even work. So I will listen, but I won't try to criticize that person because I really don't know that person's lifestyle.
Right.
Yeah.
And then to make her feel better, maybe I will, sometime it depends how close I am with you, I will have my 2 cents, but not to degrade the person, as I said again, because I don't know that person. I don't know what they're going through. I'm just going based on what you're telling me, because you want to talk about someone. Like you want to be negative about the situation. You want to talk about your friend and calling her names and things like that. Yeah. I'm a little bit more on the softer side. I just don't believe that you should degrade people and talk down about them, and regardless of what they are or what they.
But you know, those people, sometimes they come to you because they're looking for support or your help
correct.
in talking back to someone.
Yes, they
do you
need
find
that.
Do you end up agreeing with them sometimes just to get through the conversation?
Yes, okay. I do. Yes, I do.
I feel like.
Could I ask Cash a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Have you ever thought about if that person is talking about their friends that way? Has the thought ever crossed your mind? What is this person telling their other friends about me?
Oh yeah, 100%. I love that question, Sammy. 100%, because I'm like, if you can talk to me about your friend like that, of course you're probably talking about me.
Right.
I'm just interested to know, what are you talking about me? But sometimes I just try not to think about that. because as I said again, I'm a person of a little bit more on the private side. I like my life to be private. I don't like to be sharing information regardless of how close I am to you. I don't put out everything out there because, as I said again, people will talk regardless. They'll smile in your face, but they will talk behind your back.
It sounds like Cash gonna start having to feed fake information out there.
Yeah, a
Talk
lot. I actually told
Talk
one of
about
my
how you
friends I
have
went to
11-year-old
Dubai just
son or
to see how
something.
she reacted. Eh, Sam? I told one of my friends I went to Dubai just to see how she reacted.
See?
How
You're
did she
pulling the
react?
Drake card already.
Oh, you're so lucky.
Cool.
My year has started off so unlucky. You're so lucky you're able to go to Dubai. How do you do it?
Mm.
Cool.
And I'm like, that right there, I just needed that answer to confirm that you're a true narcissist and you're not happy for other people. And I've been that one friend to you that is helpful, a person that give you great advice, a person that try to uplift you, a person that try to be positive, even though, yes, sometimes I have my days where I can talk down on myself, but not a lot. And I don't know about you guys. Maybe you guys all talk good thing about yourself, but from a woman's point of view, not all women feel the same every day. Like they will talk about their body, they'll talk about how they look, they'll talk about all these different things. They'll talk down on themselves. Like, I gain weight, I'm fat. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know, but you guys can chime in. Like, there are guys that will talk down on themselves. But yeah, Sammy, to get back to what you're asking, 100%, like, I'm pretty sure people talk behind my back.
Yeah.
Do you guys talk about people behind their back?
Do I?
Come on.
I kind of wish I did now.
No, come on. You guys must have to say something about somebody.
I actually can't remember.
Like,
I don't know.
No, you guys, you there have to be somebody that you're talking about.
I don't have much people to talk about.
Not talk about like bad things, but like something that you don't agree with. Let's say, okay, you know that, I don't know, just something about your friend that you don't think that, I don't know, man. What do guys talk about? Like, how do you talk about your friend?
We really sit there and stare and do nothing. Like,
But
we don't.
but here's the thing though. Anything that I could have said, and mark my words, anything that I could have said, I could say to their face, which means I'm not talking anything bad. You know what I mean? I think there's a difference between talking about someone and actually like shit talking someone. There's a difference. Like, for example, Cash, you got a new car. Let's just say you got a new car, right? Say, oh yeah, Cash bought a new car. It's really nice. It's, a 2030, blah, 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 whatever. I don't know, right? That's talking about you, but I didn't say anything because I'm not coming from a negative or, a jealousful place. I appreciate your car. Like having conversation with Jace or Sammy. But I think that's talking about you. But if we're going with, like the actual, like the talking bad about someone is like, yeah, I can't believe Cash bought that car. Like, what is wrong with her? That fire truck red is so disgusting. Like, what possessed her brain to buy that? And that's a bad investment. And I think now I'm actually talking bad about you, where I don't know if I would be able to repeat that to your face. But me being what I said originally was, you bought a new car. It's really nice. I could say that to your face.
Right.
Right. So I think there's a line of talking about someone and actually like shit talking someone.
Right. I got what you're saying.
Yeah.
You know what? Hear you saying that example. I think I do talk behind people's back.
See,
I think it's human nature.
Thank you.
But it's not like
it's
Some
not
or
coming
the
from a
other.
malicious place,
yeah.
right?
It's like, why did you buy that?
Sometimes we see dumb things
Yeah.
and we gotta talk about it like a joke, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but it's not like I would be shit talking.
Yeah.
Like, we'd say stuff and laugh about it, but it's not anything like personal. It's just like funny to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
I don't-
that's the same.
I don't think we shit talk.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I'm not into the shit talking. I
And
don't think.
and that's why I said I can talk about you, but
Yeah.
if you were to record what I'm saying and play it back for someone, I will stand 10 toes and, echo what I'm saying. But I wouldn't say I'm shit talking where I literally like, oh my God, if they heard what I said about them, oh my God, they'll probably want to kill me or something. You know what I mean? There's that line, right? So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Success causes people to talk negative behind other people's back.
Successful people do?
Well,
Or-
like, say for instance, you're a successful person.
Okay.
I'm your friend,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
and you're getting up the ladder and you're doing all these things. You're buying all these boats and cars, and I have my other friend on the side, and I'm like, look at Jace. He's
Oh,
buying
okay.
all these things, and he's probably dying in death. Like that type of thing. That's
think it's-
not really in a malicious way, is it?
No, it's not. I think it's human nature too.
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
you do that.
are more likely to do that, but not like
Yeah.
in a malicious way to where I want to
Okay.
Mm.
rip your head off. And
There's like a momentary jealousness that everyone has, right? Of
Yeah.
like,
I guess you could say
but
that.
it's like when you live and die by like that, and
Yeah.
you look at someone and you hate them, and it's
And that's crossing the line.
But also too, like, it's what you do with it. So for example, if as she mentioned, Jace, you're buying all these boats, cars, whatever, you're living this glamorous life, right? I might see that. Okay, cool. But like, I'm not gonna lose sleep over it.
Right.
Where I'm literally now running my mouth at 10 different people and saying, oh, Jace this, Jace that. But also too, I think we as humans, we're always curious of the unknown.
right.
So, oh, how did he get all those houses and boats and cars and all these first class flights to everywhere? Oh, he must have done this. He must have done that. So we're always curious of the unknown. And rather than us going to the source, we rather make up and come to our own conclusions. So,
Right.
but
I always assumed Jace probably got a DM from some Dubai prince, and that's how he got everything.
oh, I know. But
Love kinks.